going to be feeling too charitable.
No.
Good luck, have fun's are going to come out. I mean, at least for one win, this is the team that they really wanted to play against, which is what they said to us yesterday, so they get their opportunity.
Yeah, again, a bit of a rematch from their journey to DreamLeague, taking that lost Team Spirit 2-0 last time around. Could be the same result here. I don't see. Do you feel like, yeah, you're playing against Wind Ranger, this is going to feel a lot better for one win. I mean, even with all the minus armor that we were talking about, Sven just makes sure that the minus armor does nothing but nullify Warcry. So you're not necessarily softening up these targets for quick burst, because Warcry still kind of covers you overall. So it makes it a little bit awkward. But I do like the tempo that can come out from Collapse. I think the key thing's going to be, like, how much can the Slaughter get away with in lane? What kind of build-up we're looking for? What kind of timing the Harpoon Blink will hit? Let's see, one win, deep smoke and deep wards here.
They certainly look like they want the level 1 team fight here, one win. Team Spirit are not going to give them that. Ooh, I say that, Maposhka and Yatoro are hanging around the top side, but so they have kind of figured out that the one win were hanging around that area as well, so they are just going to leave. Tips coming out from Mira, not 100% sure why. It won't matter. 2 for 2 trade on the banner ins, and of course, as per usual, we can start with the mid lane, where you are going to see Lal on the mid tiny against the mid invoker of Shura Jr. What do you think about the mid matchup here, Jonathan? Do you feel like it goes one way or the other?
I don't think it's too bad for Shura Jr. Can play with a range and always kind of break off Laurel, a bit of a tornado later on. Has the MP ready as well, just to melt some mana. Here at the range creep, just a bit, so shouldn't be too bad. I think the main thing is, as long as Shura Jr. doesn't get clipped by Avalanche and gets tossed back, he's pretty happy. It's going to be a little bit rougher for Laurel to try to line up for that aggression. Big thing for Laurel is rotation potential is strong if he finds it. We'll find out later on. Rune control's a little bit more important for Laurel as well, so that's going to be the emphasis of Team Spirit. Still taking a look at that bot lane here. You've got Respect on the Mirana along with Munkushi on the Sven. Again, another very straightforward lane for one win. They're up against Mira on the Grimstroke and Collapse on the Slaughter, which is also really scary. Level 3 spikes are pretty scary in both ends. I'd say maybe a little bit more of a threat onto one win. The double stun of Stormhammer and Sacred Arrow is a threat for sure, but Inkswell plus Slytherin into Bash of the Deep is a lot more stun.
Boschka, top lane, already going down. Cloud able to secure first blood. Yatoro trying to hand a bit of harassment back the other way. The thing is, you do have perfect setup as well here from Sweet and Strong, right? Like the disruption into the onslaught is going to be a little bit problematic if you are Yatoro and Maposhka. And this is before you've hit the level 3 mark and you've got some points up in trap. So you do have to be a little bit wary of that setup from Sweet and Strong.
Yeah, it's a lot of output, and it's not an easy hero to punish for Yatoro and Maposhka. Like, there's just so much output and durability from Cloud, and they just line up from a mile away.
And Maposhka, again, gonna go down. It's really that easy. Like, without the level 3 mark on Cloud, you think it wouldn't be that possible, but Maposhka dying a second time will have to make the walk of shame back towards the top lane. And yeah, but you've got to be happy if you're the off lane of one win.
Yeah, super happy. It's going to slow down just a little bit on Yatoro. He is still finding farm, but you are getting the EXP you need here for Cloud to really start to have that impact and just start to build up into that point where he can get aggressive. Shura Jr. trying to deny off additional water runes. Not going to be able to take one away from Laurel. Did manage to take one away at the very least. And you are seeing a little bit more back and forth. Laurel is leveraging the tree grab quite nicely though, keeping up in denies. So it's not a runaway lane for Shura Jr. by any means.
Mid lane, a bit of a jump in here from Lal. Shura Jr. dropping very, very low. Lal luckily not having any points in toss to really be able to try and finish off the kill. But the mid lane has been relative. Oh, hold on a minute, bottom lane. Collapsed. Finding Respect. Oh, gets the bash as well, of course. Have the charge ready. Respect is indeed going to go down.
Again, you have to respect that chain stunning with the Inkswell into the crush, into the bash. Very easy to just look for that pick off here. Munkushi is a lot tankier, but this Mirana is susceptible. You don't have level 3, you don't have the value point and leap. Once you commit, you are basically gone. Be cautious about trying to work the angles. So far though, still, again, not too bad for one win, considering how much pressure they're applying top. Same pressure kind of being applied bot, but not enough to stop Munkushi too much from farming up. This is the one thing as well. The Sven will outfarm this Wind Rangers. They are running for Miposhka again.
They are Miposhka. He just cannot catch a break. Does get a deny on the neutrals at the very least, but it's still going to feel real bad here, just dying another time. And it's just not going to get easier. It's just easy pickings every time he shows his face at the top lane.
Yeah, I guess the argument to be made at least it's not Yatoro. I feel like you can make that same move onto the Wind Ranger and still find success. So at least the punishment is not on the core. This gives the opportunity for the bottle top up for Laurel as well to kind of play that lane. And he's starting to pull ahead on that Tiny. Just way better lane control in comparison to Chira Jr. Just makes it rough for Chira Jr. to try to leverage, get some EXP. Are seeing some poking and prodding down bot. Inkswell does not quite connect from Mira, unfortunately, but again, this is a tanky lane to go up against. You've got the value point from Warcry from Munkushi as well. So there is some disengage once the commitment comes in.
Sweden Strong's being so annoying. He gets a deny on the observable that was placed there by Miposhka immediately, just not giving it a chance at all here as Collapse now rushing forward with the Inkswell down at bottom lane. Does find Munkushi with the stun, but does not have the follow-up. Did have the crush, but doesn't. Oh, in fact, he goes now to Respect. Collapse, has he waited a bit too long? Respect, he does die. Munkushi still trying to trade, but Collapse just manning up. Gets the bash to the deeps and the stun. And Miposhka even showing up to the last second. And that's why Collapse was so confident to just re-engage, knowing they had the numbers advantage. Suddenly 2 heroes down at the safe lane of 1 win.
Yeah, that's massive. Again, you have to put a dent in this Sven. He's going to be able to outfarm Yatoro just by nature of the hero. Does provide an opening to aggress onto Laurel. Does then manage to deny away the regen rune. So the Tiny not going to be too comfy for the next few minutes here. Just no regen, no mana to play with. Not going to be able to shove Chira Jr. away. At the same time, they can't really commit just yet from the side of 1 win unless they land those stuns. Chase on to Respect again.
Respect does go down another time. I mean, just the off lanes of both sides are having the greatest games of their lives here as Collapse. No contention whatsoever when it comes to his farm, and I can say the exact same thing for Cloud. He is having a great time. Yatoro not able to slow him down whatsoever. So it seems like it's going to be one of those games where it just becomes all about the off lane. It's, you can see Munkushi, like, he's just not safe. Even underneath his tier 1 tower, he just does not feel good. Especially now that the level 6 mark is up on Collapse, you're always going to have vision over this man.
You'll have the vision, you'll have the burst. The damage is starting to ramp up now on Collapse. Does go for the Bash of the Deep more than the Crush, which is great. It is really good damage to pump out and a lot of control. Like seeing that here for Collapse. We've seen a lot of pro players still stick to Slytherin. And it is good for a lane where you feel like you're not going to get the right clicks, but this is certainly a lane where Collapse is just in control. I think the big difference is just how much pressure is on these safe lanes, right? When Kushi is under so much more pressure than Yatoro. For Yatoro, being solo up against Prowl and Beast isn't as bad. You have no Shadow Demon to connect with. Sweden Strong's not there providing the setup. So running down the Wind Ranger is a little bit tougher. They'll try for a smoke out here on 1 win. See what Chira Jr. and Sweden Strong can get done.
Rotations down towards the bottom lane. Collapse. Oh, they're going to miss out. He does get away. That's a little bit unfortunate. It felt like they had maybe a split second there to get the disruption off, but they just do not quite get it. And so the smoke rotation really does not pan out to much. Rotate into the mid lane and try to save the Invoker. Sweden Strong. Decent timing with the disruption to ensure that Chira Jr. will not go down. They will at least drain the mana of Lal as well as he does run his way out. But Lal's going to get a bottle top up here from Mirabai. Never mind, not even. Never ends up handing over the bottle. It doesn't really matter though, because they'll jump in onto Chira Jr. anyway. The Invoker being caught out. A nice setup by Miposhka. Chira Jr. is down, that they are going to rotate in. Cloud on the Primal Beast going after Lal. Silences are out for Mirror, trying to lock them down a little bit longer as Lal continues to try and retreat. Magic Missile even going to help him out, though Cloud is continuing to chase. Lal still alive, but finally goes down. As now Yatoro has rotated, trying to find another trade, does take down Cloud. My goodness, just so much emphasis on trying to get that tiny kill, and it cost them another one.
That's a lot of sacrifices to make. Really great response out from Team Spirit. Even Yatoro recognizing he could find something over there. And it's all down to that patience. Like instantly, Soulbind flies out. He waits for that Pulverize for the Phantom's Embrace. That buys the time and space for Laurel to bail out. And works out. 3-6, 2k lead running for Team Spirit. They've got the smoke out with Miposhka and Laurel. Want to keep that pressure going. Munkushi already all the way behind his tier 1 though. A little bit of a harder angle to scout out early, but if they find him, that's Sven. Doesn't have much to play with. No God's Strength either to threaten back here.
Munkushi, Poshka, very patient, waiting for his team. They've got plenty of vision here on Munkushi. Lal's in with the Avalanche. They've got the Inksword to follow up. Poor old Munkushi, he had no idea they were coming. Another beautiful play here from Team Spirit to find the position 1 of 1 win, and of course that does open up the bottom tier 1 tower. There'll be no defending that.
Now, just a quick take for Collapse. They already dropped the early ward as well to watch that area down bot, have a good angled sneak in and apply that pressure onto Munkushi. They're still camping around top. There's an Invis rune on Sweden Strong though. So you could try for the entrapment from the back, but range isn't quite there.
Poshka, he could try to bait Cloud forward. Instead, they're going to find Sweden Strong. So Sweden Strong kind of just tank the gank that was being set up here onto the Cloud Primal Beast. In comes some rotations now from 1 win. They're going to bring Shura Jr. and Respect up towards the top lane. They're going to find Miposhka. Arrow's going to whiff, but Miposhka is down. Nice little pick up there for 1 win.
Still an important kill to find for Chira Jr. Just needs to ramp up on this Invoker, get that full Spirit Vessel going, where we have that presence in the middle of these fights. Playing off of this ward they planted earlier on as well, pretty nicely on 1 win. And relieve some of the pressure that has been being pumped out on Munkushi. So, good movement overall. Not going to be able to tie into an objective. Unfortunately, Yatoro is still just scaling up like a madman. Collapse is really your next big issue here. 200 gold away from full blink. Might be able to go onto Yatoro. At the very least, Respect is keeping an eye out, but follow through isn't quite there, although Cloud makes his way over now.
It's time.
Moonlight Shadow is going to be popped. They are going to give it a crack. Yatoro will get pulverized. Arrow follow-up should be there perfectly. And Yatoro, oh, that's going to be a very nice kill. Beautiful setup here from 1 win. Of course, now off the back of that, they could consider the mid-tier 1 tower, but looks like they won't really bother. Try to race for the power rune, but it seems like Poshka will just deny that one off. But ultimately, you found the Yatoro Wind Ranger. You're going to be pretty damn happy with that.
Side of Team Spirit have to be able to get these D-wards off. Already pinging out the location of 1 win's ward. Giving out that info. See if they can find more Laurel. This is Respect, but slippery Mirana. Pretty hard to pin.
Absolutely. There's still a very slight net worth advantage. Just 1k the way of Team Spirit, and it seems like most of that is sitting currently on Collapse. He's working on towards that Aghanim Scepter now. Still camping in the mid lane here, just in preparation to see if somebody's going to show up. Shura Jr. does reveal himself in that mid lane. But they will smoke up as 3 instead here on the side of Spirit and wrap around through their own jungle. Maybe go through that Radiant Triangle if they can get to that area. They could find Cloud on the Primal Beast. Thing is, Cloud is a bit of a tankier unit, but they are going to give it a crack. The jump is there. Cloud, he'll pop the Blade Mail. Is it going to matter? Not quite. Cloud, though, oh, he just barely is unable to get the onslaught off in time. And another great kill for Team Spirit.
Yep, that's the blink reveal of Collapse coming out. Great usage on that first kill. Is working into the Ags now as well. They set themselves up some of their own forward division to start to get some punishment in. I suppose if you're 1-win, now all of this attention again is away from your Sven, who is managing to farm back into the game. And that's always the concern for Team Spirit. The moment you leave Munkashi alone, he will just out-farm. It's a Sven up against a Wind Ranger farming. Sure, you have the Maelstrom, but it's much more consistent for Sven to clear through these camps. Mass DPs to top, though.
Yeah, top lane, Maposhka and Collapse. I mean, they are kind of prepped for the fight. D-Wards to come out. Team Spirit, they do not want to stick around any longer, knowing that their vision is now gone. They'll get back towards their own Tier 1 tower. Tornado's going to fly out here from Shura Jr.
Oh,
swap out, though. He's gone way too far. Underneath the Tier 1 tower, they'll disrupt to try and save the Invoker, but with the Soulbind, there's nowhere for Shura to go. Getting baited in by Maposhka. Maposhka seeing the easiest swap of his life, and now even Respect. Trying to get his way out, but Lyle's going to catch up with the Inkswall to connect. Respect is indeed going to go down. Team Spirit once again outplaying the side of 1-win. And Shura Jr., I mean, it was wishful thinking. He rushes in by himself, gets swapped in, and that was pretty much all she wrote.
It's a little bit surprising they forced that fight anyway on 1-win. Right, they get the D-ward off, they know they were under vision. So Team Spirit, they should understand, is ready. They don't respect that too much. And the punishment is pretty severe. This Invoker, you know, we've talked about Shira Jr. and his Invoker. He is willing to make these sacrifices, but it doesn't feel like he's at that point where he's stable enough with just the Spirit Vessel. He needs a couple more items up to really still have consistent impact here. Still, 1-win, going for another smoke out.
All I can give us is a chance.
Who are they going to find, though?
Toro?
Oh, Yatoro. Gets the Wind Walk away, and looks like he's going to be just fine. Not even any farm to be had in that die triangle. Just the perfect retreat here for Yatoro. Left one Wild Wing Ripper behind. Very unfortunate here for 1-win. They could still head into the mid lane and try to find a pick off into the Tier 1 mid tower. Sweet and Strong, though, has been spotted out here by Maposhka, so the immediate stun is out. And the Shadow Demon is dead. That Collapse, he even found Shura Jr. That's a huge target. And it seems as though Shira's got no help on the way. Everyone's left him behind. That's tough.
Oh boy.
That is a very, very tough death to have there for the Invoker. Now things are really starting to fall apart for 1-win.
That it is. It's all hinging on Munkushi. He's the guy with all of the space. He's the guy that's been left alone on the Sven. He's working towards the Ags next. To have some catch, maybe opt for BKB first for a little bit more protection up front. But this is when Team Spirit's fully online. They've got the output, they've got the connections with the blinks on Laurel and Collapse. And even Yatoro can contribute quite a fair bit with a Gleipnir going into the Manta next. I mean, 1-win, they've got to play as a unit. Like, they are forcing out these smokes. The game sense coming out from Team Spirit's just too strong. Chira!
Oh boy. That's I mean, I said things were getting tough here for Shira. They are getting worse and worse as time goes on, just being picked off again. So now the Tier 1 mid tower is going to collapse, excuse the pun, to the side of Team Spirit. Top lane. Speaking of the Devil, Collapse moving right up towards Cloud, but will not be able to get quite within range to go for the Slithering Crush. Doesn't really matter though, they get the Tier 1 tower. They are completely in control of this game, number 2. So, you know, as much as we hate this Wind Ranger pick up Yatoro, he is just having the freest farm of his life. Like, nobody's touched this guy.
That he is. Like, he's allowed to play his game. Right? There's so much space being created by Collapse and Laurel, so much pressure coming out from these two heroes that the Wind Ranger doesn't even need to be a factor just yet. And with a Gleipnir, can contribute, but wants to be safer with a full Manta into the Lincolns, just to prevent any sort of pulverized plays here from Cloud. And with all that, once all that's up, Yatoro is going to be pretty safe in the middle of these engagements. I think the issue here for 1-win is you have no one to really play off of. You've got this combination of arrow plus 1. So you just need arrow setup, but every single time they move out with these smokes and moonlights, it doesn't work. Scan does spot them for a brief moment.
They're going to try for Yatoro again. Tornado's going to land. They've got the Wind Ranger held down for a moment. Yatoro gets a nice Gleipnir off onto 3, though. They do take him out, however. I mean, Team Spirit, they were close by, but not quite seeing the angle to try and jump in and help out this Wind Ranger. They will leave Yatoro to die. Collapse was across the map as well, so that might have had quite a lot to do with it. That's a huge one. That's the kind of kill you want to see if you want win.
Yeah, the smoke finally panning out does do quite a lot for them. They're slowing down Wind Ranger from just getting to that point where it's going to be near impossible to pin down. You're also taking these fights up against Team Spirit before they have any of their bigger spells. Like, say, Venge with level 2 swap might have been able to get a save off from Miposhka. Fortunately, with still the level 1 swap, range is just a limiting factor for how well you can counteract that. Still, with that kill, it's not like OneWin's able to really build off of it, unfortunately. Like, they're not able to pressure these tier 1s. They're not able to hunt for more pickoffs. You're still being rather efficient on the map with Laurel and Collapse. Collapse, he has his full Ags up. He is just so durable now with that additional HP regen when he does get the crush off from the water the Corrosive Haze leaves behind. Like, this is not a slaughter you can easily burst down. And that's going to get worse once the full Sanjin Yasha's up as well, which he is finding the farm for. Again, he's been left alone for a long time. And it is concerning, because you're going to have to pick your targets here on OneWin. You're going to have to try to pin down any of these cores, and for the most part, all you have is single target control outside of the Pulverize with a little bit of a micro stun, and I guess a good Stormhammer if they're clumped up, but we haven't seen Team Spirit commit that yet. Still, Cloud has his BKB, so should feel safer in trying to take these fights. They're lined up for the Roshan on Team Spirit. This should not take too long with a focus fire here. They want to commit that.
Now Roshan. Roshan has gone very freely here. Yatoro to pick up the Aegis. But I suppose you can't just look towards the tier 2 bottom tower here if you are Team Spirit. You must be feeling relatively confident, even with that recent death on Yatoro. You've gotten to a point, though, where Mankushi could start to be a pretty big cause of concern, but I think Mankushi does at least need the BKB to feel confident enough to start moving it with his team. He will just regroup with his team, in fact, towards that dire jungle.
They could try for their own push play up top. They're still grouped around. Again, this could be a really good Ags reveal here on Mankushi. With 2 lives in Yatoro, it can be a little bit dicey though, but let's see if the angle presents itself. Miposhka hang around with that swap. Doesn't want to repeat that same mistake from last time. Instead, Moonlight and Smoke onto mid.
Absolutely, they're going to see Lal there for a moment. Lal, though, will blink away, so instead they'll try for Mirror, but the blink away from Mirror is going to be just fine, as now the chase is on for one win. Lal, he will land an avalanche onto Shira. However, Yatoro, he does get caught by Rogue Arrow on the other side of the fight. However, Shira does get caught by Shackles now. Meanwhile, Collapse dropping low here to Mankushi. He does go down, but they have got the Invoker. Cloud on the run, Lal on the chase. Cloud, no, in fact, they want the Sven. They want the bigger target. The Sven, though, Mankushi, he'll jump in and take them up cautious, but a beautiful Shackles locking down 2 of them is going to be a little bit problematic here for one win, that they do take down another on the side of Team Spirit. It's not going to matter if they take them the Sven. And in fact, it was just Yatoro taking down the Aegis anyway. Sweden strong. Doesn't look like he's going to make it out. Maybe they could try to get Yatoro a second time, but no, he's going to be fine. Sweden strong to fall. Lal finds a couple more with an avalanche. They'll go after Cloud. Shackle will not lock him down for long, but Yatoro, he will just continue to climb around them as he'll take that respect, and now Cloud is gone. Not even the Sunstrike to connect. And of all things, a damage amp rune to support while the fight was going on.
It's beautiful. You know, when you're the chosen one, Mike, you get everything you want. Really, really good sidestep from Collapse, dodging out the ice wall, getting the toss from Laurel. He does die, but he sets up. He gets that disruptive stun. He allows this opening for Yatoro to chase down, for Laurel to get the follow through as well. Laurel, really good target reading as well, seeing the BKB still running, pinning down the backline, providing a little bit of an angle to catch out that Sven. A pivotal kill for them to find. And they maximize this Aegis for that team fight. Not going to be able to, unfortunately, take too many objectives off the back, but Team Spirit, just so many outplays here. Again, just dancing around Ice Wall, getting these coordinated tossbacks, dancing around, getting good Gleipnir to cut off that onslaught. Everything lines up.
Another big group up. I mean, Team Spirit, they will run as 4. Lines were being drawn towards the top lane. Collapse is already around the area. Just the net worth of Shearer is going to really kind of sting right now for the Invoker. Like, he's sitting at 8k net worth. He's trying to get a Blink Dagger up on the Invoker, but just dire straits at the moment, as they are going to find Sweet and Strong once again. Mira, even having a look around for another, is going to find Cloud. Will land with the Inkswar, cancelling off the onslaught and setting up another kill by the looks of it for Cloud. He'll get the BKB off. It's Lal. Lal's still trying. Gets the avalanche eventually. Problem is he cops an arrow to the front side. Sunstrike in. Lal a little bit overconfident. Still going to try and go for the fight, but it is going to go down. Thing is though, Mankushi. While all that was happening, Mankushi gets caught.
Yep, they isolate the Sven. No wards there, just some good movement out from Team Spirit. Maybe a little bit of a deep one from Laurel. You know, kind of reminiscent of that moment we had with Yatoro running up on his Naga. And this time it's Laurel getting a little bit hungry for the kills. Does get punished, but 9-22. Team Spirit still in a really good position in this game. 8k lead up. Manta fully done on Yatoro, so doesn't need to worry too much about the lockdown. Has some dodge on hand as well. Going back to your point about Shearer Jr., when you're behind farm from a Grimstroke 4, you know you're in some deep trouble. And we've talked about Shearer Jr. being willing to be that sacrificial element for the team. This is a lot of sacrificing he's doing right now in comparison to that first game we saw as Invoker. This is a little bit too much sacrifice, Mike.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, you know, he's got a blink up at least now, John. That's good news. He might need it now because they have made the jump in onto the Primal Beast. Sweet and Strong barely able to save with the disruption, but Cloud, well, he gets the BKB off, so he's still going, but he is down eventually. Lal will take him. Here we go. Mitzi to tower will be targeted here by Team Spirit.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
This is... it's such a tough position for one win. I mean, again, there's still this scaling coming out from Mankushi. With a BKB up, a little bit more damage with full Daedalus, things can start to look up. It feels like you want more in Shearer Jr., right? You want more, in particular, really EXP. Stuck at level 13, matching the supports of Team Spirit. I say matching, he's matching Maposhka. It's about 3 levels behind compared to Mira. So severely behind in comparison to everyone else. It's not the spot where Invoker wants to be. His spells don't feel disruptive enough at this point. So you have to still try to play that catch-up game. Bot just being secured now by the side of Team Spirit. One win just opting to try to shove out top. Might have to start to consider the high ground defense sooner rather than later, but it is early days. Might wait for the next Roche first on Team Spirit's end. A minute until we see that respawn timer. And one win. There's some timings here, right? Like, you've already got the Blinking Sweden strong. He's going for the Ags. So that is one way to be disruptive in these fights, especially if you manage to find Yatoro before he pops Manta, Demonic Purge on him. He's going to feel pretty... it's going to be pretty hard for him to try to weave his way in and out of these fights. So, collapse. Doesn't see respect, unfortunately, in the nighttime vision.
Does not. Line's being drawn through the mid lane here from one win. It seems like they want to try and go for a smoke. There will be one Bora out from Sweet and Strong, so they will group up as 5. Maybe just wait for the creep wave to come in to clear that out first. They're 12k behind. They're not out of this game quite yet here, one win, but it is getting more and more challenging as time does go on. They are not going to pop the smoke yet, though. I mean, creep wave's just constantly coming in. They'll address those first. Eventually, Moonlight Shadow's pop a collapse. He's the one to initiate. Finding respect on the Mirana. He was underneath vision, so the Moonlight Shadow would have never worked out anyway. A little bit disappointing here for one win. Just never having an opportunity to even try for a smoke or a Moonlight Shadow kind of gank. And well, now, I mean, Team Spirit, they might just go right through the top lane. In fact, they might go right into the Radiant Triangle where Mankushi barely avoids getting crushed here by Collapse.
Yeah, that would have been a kill that they can't afford to give away on the side of one win. Roshan not too far off now as well. A minute 45, going to be the south side spawn. They're going to have to work their way through the gate here for one win, but that is a little bit of a blessing. There is vision here from the side of one win Team Spirit that might not have to deal with it on the next rush. We'll see. One win finally getting the smoke off. Not sure if they smoked under vision though. There is a lane ward here that could have spotted that out.
Yeah. Team Spirit, smoke on smoke. Cloud, he's going to break his smoke, jump in from Lala immediately. They've got the sight device already out onto the Prime, although disruption will buy a bit of time here for Cloud to get the BKB off. He'll rush right onto Yatoro and Mira, trying to find at least the support. Is it going to work out? The Mira, he goes down, but he gets the Soulbind off in time. Cloud and Respect are both gone. Meanwhile, Mankushi, he's still looking for a target to hit. He'll go onto Yatoro, but he has the Lincolns up. He'll pop the BKB now. Mankushi's still trying to chase down the Wind Ranger. Will turn his attention onto Collapse, but it's not working out. He's just getting kited around, and they'll just go back in for more now. The Sven, he's a sitting duck. What's he meant to do? Lal on a triple kill. Sweet and strong. Is going to be able to get away. Whoopsie daisies, Collapse.
Yeah, instant tips out. Missed opportunity.
That was, of course, really, the neutral item, in case anyone missed the Gossamer Cave.
Yeah, the Gossamer Cave. That missed chance can just kind of ruin you sometimes. Still, great read from Team Spirit. Smoke, I think the edge of it was spotted out, but where they instantly smoke back themselves, instantly break, get that control. Just force out a lot. Cloud just completely isolated from everyone else. Beautiful swaps out from Miposhka as well to bail out Laurel to allow all of this. And it's what we talked about with the build-up on Yatoro. With the Lincolns and Manta, it's just so hard to pin this guy down as a Sven. You're basically just blocked off. You get kited around. Yes, the cleave can hurt, but there's no one to cleave off of there for the side of one win. And for Team Spirit, this is going to lead straight into the Roche. Do want to highlight something here as well. This build-up from Loyal, he does have a condo, which isn't so strange. He's queuing up the Revenant's Brooch, which is a bit stranger, but that sounds particularly exciting with the tree volley. That's something that can come out here.
I was about
really
to say
funny.
The tree volley would be a delight to watch with the Revenant's Brooch.
It just sounds... I mean, to be fair, do you really want to go magical damage when you've got Wave of Terror plus Corrosive Haze? Isn't that still more damage? I suppose, if no one has a pipe, then I guess magic damage is still more.
That's true.
I
don't know anymore, John.
I want to see it. You know, like, I just want to see it, because I remember at some point I was talking about, what was it, Monkey King Revenant's Brooch Parasma. Now everyone's starting to pick up at least the Revenant's Brooch on these auto-attack spells, because you're not wasting mana, so... Will the game go long enough for Revenant's Brooch? Who knows? It's a lot of gold. It's pretty expensive, but... Laurel has me excited, Mike.
He certainly does. Collapse? Yatoro, I mean, they're all grouped up down to the bottom lane, so Team Spirit might not actually wait for Lal to have a chance to get the Revenant's Brooch. 4-man smoke up. The side of one win are currently just at the top lane. They're not actually reacting whatsoever yet to Yatoro, but Yatoro is doing a lot of damage here onto that tier 3 tower.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Our bottom racks now under siege. Still no response here from one win. Very peculiar kind of situation as they are literally just letting this racks go down for free. Collapse chasing down a Primal Beast in the meantime, so Cloud, when he has a TP available but he can't quite commit it, will eventually get it away and does get back towards the base. So happy days. He gets back home. Problem is, you are already 1 racks down, and it costs Team Spirit nothing.
Wait a minute. I know we've casted quite a fair bit of one-wins games. I just noticed that their monuments on the high ground, it's still in sync. It's a red Primal Beast and a blue Primal Beast. They need everyone else in on that. Oh my god, these guys. They're actually coordinating the freaking monuments that no one cares about. Good god.
Yeah. Only you would care, John.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
It's on brand.
Toro.
Okay.
It is. Mid-racks is gone. They'll throw a Sunstrike at Yatoro. Yatoro could care less.
Has fallen.
They would go for the Megas. However, there is still a tier 2 tower standing at the top lane. So, it's time to address the creep wave, deal with the tier 2 tower, take a Tormentor while they're at it, or excuse me, rather an Outpost. And Lal's currently just waiting on the higher ground of the triangle, just in case somebody gives him a toss opportunity. But we've seen that one before from Lal. I think he probably is best just rejoining his team.
Yeah. No need to toss the game as well. No need to give any openings out. 19k lead, holding steady for Team Spirit. Oh, very dominant fashion here in game number 1. Certainly a lot tighter than game number 2. Certainly a lot tighter than game number 1. Tormentor will be taken out by 1 win. That is a free shard for Chira Jr., which I suppose is nice with the EMP. The pullback is always annoying, at the very least, so you have that to play with. Trying to think of the path back here for 1 win. This full Daedalus is the start. They need to be able to start these engagements on their own terms. Like, I like that Chira Jr. has the Octarine. So he can be really annoying in the middle of these fights, just spamming out all the spells from backline. You need to be able to just get that control off, plop that Alacrity onto Mankushi, and hope that the trio of Respect, Sweet and Strong, and Cloud can start to connect some of these big spells in the middle, right? Like Pulverize into Arrow, Disruption onto key targets, or saves to stall for time, and just run around Team Spirit. But easier said than done with how much farm Team Spirit has here.
Tornado at Yatoro. Problem is Lal has just blown up Respect. Buyback is out from the Mirana. Swap is out though. They caught Cloud on the Primal Beast. Maposhka once again finding himself a primary target. It's Cloud falling very, very low. Would continue to try and walk away and does barely make it, but was forced to pop the BKB. Back to the racks they go. I mean, Yatoro's really got nothing to be afraid about quite yet. Tornado once again onto the Wind Ranger, this time with the Stormhammer to fly into Bird. Collapse, he's going to try and help out Yatoro. He's dropping a little bit lower, but they've lost Mankushi. Mankushi is gone, so is Cloud. They call GG. No buybacks available. Team Spirit, they will be able to secure a 2-0 victory here up against 1 win. And props to them. I mean, game 1 was a bit of